What's happening, everybody? This is Temple. Welcome to the cave. As you guys can see, I got my co-host today. Boy. If you weren't here the last time.
Yeah, I missed out on a good one, man.
Dorian really,
it's a pretty good one, I will say.
Yeah, Dorian really let it go. He kept receipts and everything. I told him, I said, I had nothing to do with this.
Laughing?
Ooh, boy. Yeah, I think, next time we should actually, can we have a phone line open or something so maybe we can call them and ask them what they were thinking about?
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. Man.
I don't think they'd answer though.
They ain't ready for it though. One thing y'all didn't have me on the show last time.
That's true.
So.
We did not have you, and that was the thing I was thinking. And Dorian said, he said, man, I wish Mike was here because we was kind of going in on, the crowned king of the NBA. And listen, for everybody that doesn't understand, it's not that I don't necessarily like LeBron.
His fans are the worst.
I have a problem with the way the fans treat the whole history of what was before him and act like he is the only person that has ever done anything. You know what? I'll put it this way. They say he's the GOAT. I say he's Mr. Consistent.
I give him that too.
He's Mr. Consistent. Because to me, the GOAT is the guy that has won.
And played at the highest
level. And now, a lot of people will say it's Kareem. A lot of people will say it's Bill Russell. I mean, look, that's fine. I wasn't around to watch Bill Russell. And to me, what irritates me the most is that when Kareem was the leading scorer in the league, nobody garnered him with the greatest player of all time, even though he had 6 championships and had been in the league for 20-something plus years and was a leading scorer in the league. Michael was in the league, and they were already calling him the greatest of all time by 1990.
Yeah, by his 3rd championship.
So
really, that's when it really started.
So what I'm saying is, how is it that now this man is the greatest of all time, but we didn't give that same, or same numbers or the same accolades that Kareem had garnered at that time. We didn't give him that same love as the greatest of all time. Why do you think that is, my man?
Because his name's not LeBron James. As simple as that. Because a lot of, it's funny. I was actually watching this thing on Nick Wright. He was talking about how he has LeBron 1, Kareem 2, and Mike 3, right?
Wait a minute. He's got LeBron 1, Kareem 2,
and Mike at 3.
And Mike 3. Okay, so.
And here's the thing, real quick. The funny thing is the thing that he put Kareem ahead of Jordan. Okay, look. So the reason why he put Kareem ahead of Jordan is because of championships, accolades, all this kind of thing. My thing is, how are you gonna put Kareem ahead of Jordan when Jordan has more accolades because of that reason? But you're going to put Jordan ahead of both of them, or LeBron ahead of both of them, when they both have more accolades than than LeBron does. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So it's a very good question.
Yeah, because he's talking about 6 championships, 5 MVPs. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Mike has more championships, more MVPs, more finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, a defensive player of the year. I think he's like a 3-time still champion or something like that.
Yeah.
What I want to know.
I
don't know, man. It's a little weird.
What I want to know is if that is the case, and we have to have something to base these we have to have something to base the whole premise of why LeBron is the GOAT. Look, I can't argue with somebody that says, hey, look, I say he's a GOAT because he's what I seen growing up.
That's different than saying he's the GOAT versus saying that's your GOAT.
Exactly.
Yeah,
to me, that's the difference. I tell people all the time, to me, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. And on top of that, he's my GOAT because what I seen him do during his time, I was around to see him do those things. The problem I have with a lot of LeBron fans is that most of them, if you watch them now, they have these reaction videos. They never even watched Michael Jordan play before.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing to me.
Hey, technically, I didn't necessarily watch Mike play either, but here's what I will say. Kobe's my favorite player.
Exactly.
That's my GOAT.
That's
who
your GOAT.
I grew up watching, right?
That's your GOAT.
But at the same time, as somebody that has looked at the history of basketball, I can see and recognize the impact that Jordan had on Kobe, right? And the thing is that Jordan did everything better than Kobe. I mean, think about it. He was a better shooter in terms of percentage-wise.
True.
I think Kobe might have been the better, like, 3-point shooter.
He was. He was a better.
I think he was.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give Kobe that. But I think Mike was the better defender.
He was.
I think Mike was the better driver to the basket. I think Mike was the better athlete.
He was
by far.
He was a better athlete by far.
Kobe was a good athlete, but he wasn't a great athlete.
No.
Right?
He wasn't.
So I'm just saying, like, even I can recognize that being a Kobe fan and recognize that even while he's my favorite player, I can recognize that Jordan is just better. It's just
simple
as that.
We had a comment on the last video where we had put it up and it had LaFraud on there, and the comment that came out of that was one of the comments was it had something to do along the lines of, well, Michael needed Scotty and Horace Grant and Rodman and all these other guys to win, and
that's a given.
And LeBron James didn't need anybody. That, to me, this is why I say delusional. Because when you say shit like that, you prove to me your inability to look at the real shit. Number one, if LeBron didn't need nobody, why the fuck did he go to fucking Miami?
Man, and not even that.
But that's number one.
But not even that though. Everybody needs you. It's a team game.
It's a team game. You can't win by yourself.
You have to have, teammates that help you win. Let's get this out the way first.
Yeah.
Nobody wins alone.
That's for sure.
Please, let's get that out the way.
Mike didn't do it.
Number two. Yeah, Mike didn't do it. Number two. Nobody wins every freaking year, bro. So people that be like, well, Michael didn't win his first 7 years. Nobody wins every year. Not even Bill Russell.
Nope.
So can we please stop using that as an argument? That is so.
It's lame.
It's dumb.
It's a lazy ass take.
Yeah, it's
to
dumb.
Tell me your side of the argument, because to me that side of the argument it carries no weight because nobody wins it immediately.
And if you do, you're lucky.
I'll put it like this.
It does not happen very often. Kobe won early.
He
but
did.
Guess what? He had Shaq.
Shaq had been in the league for a couple years.
Exactly. So, even then, and even if a player does win early, you're usually going to have somebody, like a Shaq, for example. And guess what happens when you do that? They discredit Kobe for having
Exactly.
Shaq.
They did it, and they did that.
And that's exactly what happened. So, to me, it's just... It doesn't make any sense, man.
And you know what the other problem with that is when people say that, well, he didn't win it at this time, and LeBron James didn't need nobody to win, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, you guys really don't get it. To me, you have given this guy, you've put him up on a pedestal so high that no matter what, he could have a losing record in the finals.
Oh, don't get me started.
And still be considered the GOAT with a losing record. Ask yourself, out of any of the guys who have been considered as the greatest of all time in this sport, do any of them have a losing record in the finals?
Bro, there's a reason why Wilt doesn't get talked about.
Exactly.
That's literally the reason. Otherwise, Wilt would be the GOAT.
I can
Because
tell
numbers wise, nobody's messing with Will.
No, not. I mean, here's what the problem is. We have got to start being realistic about what it is we see and what it is that we can read on a piece of paper and say, okay, well, this person did this person did that. Okay, let me look at this guy. This person did this. Well, they don't compare. But we make up statistics to fit the narrative of what we want to make ourselves feel better about the person we're rooting for. And the problem when you do that is now you have taken any kind of, how should I say, you have nothing behind you that tells me I should listen to anything you have to say. Nothing. Because right now, when you tell me that this person is the greatest player of all time, and yet he has a losing record in the finals, he's been in the league for 20 years plus, getting ready to be plus for sure.
Hey, you talking about losing record in the finals, bro? I want y'all to think about this for a second, because I mentioned this.
You did, yeah.
This
and this is interesting.
Listen,
is interesting.
Every star player that LeBron has played in the finals, he has a losing record against.
Every one of them.
Every single one of them. Durant, Dirk Nowitzki, Steph Curry. Who else am I missing?
Tim Duncan.
I feel like I'm missing somebody else.
I mean, who? I mean, Curry was the one he played the most.
Curry is 15-7 against LeBron in the finals. And look, I don't want to hear nothing about.
But yet Curry doesn't get the same amount of love because, I mean, I don't know. Is it because he's light skinned? I'm just asking. I mean, he's got four rings.
Ain't no nigga got 4 rings on motherfucking Mike. When he was dominating.
4 rings.
I'm just saying.
He's got 4 rings, but yet
Charles didn't get one. Drexler didn't get one.
Nope.
I mean,
Karl Malone didn't get one.
Karl Malone, John Stockton didn't get one. Gary didn't get one. Sean Kemp didn't get one. Shit, Matt, he didn't play Magic in the finals.
He did play Magic in the finals.
Well, no, I meant like Shaq. That was in the
it was the Eastern Conference finals.
But he kept Shaq from winning. I mean,
yeah,
and Penny. And all them dudes. Ewing.
Yeah. I mean, Ewing never got one.
I mean, I could go on, man. There's a lot of great players that didn't get one, man.
It's amazing the way we twist things to make ourselves feel better about the players that we root for. And you know what? I get it. Because even though people think that a lot of people hate LeBron because of their bias for their players, that could be true. I can't say it's not because I'm not everybody. But what I'll tell you is this. I pulled for LeBron hard.
Let me let y'all in on something. I was the one that didn't like LeBron. I've never liked LeBron, even when I was younger, because I was a Kobe guy. This dude,
I pulled for LeBron.
And Dorian, they liked LeBron.
I did.
used to tell them all the time about how much of a fraud LeBron was.
I pulled for LeBron.
They came to the light.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And what changed it for me was the night after. Well, not the night, but I'll say after they lost in the finals. I want to say, well, no, it wasn't even after the finals. It was a little bit after that. It was when he decided he was going to have this big to-do to announce his free agency and where he was going to decide to go. And it turned me a little bit.
You're talking about the first one, right? When he went to Miami.
Because to me, I thought to myself, even though he tried to put it under the guise of all this money that they're going to make from airing this decision, the decision, is going to go to the girls and Boys and Girls Club. And that's fine. But you know what? He was making enough money at that time. He could have gave some money and just said, you know what? I'm going to do this without making it a spectacle. And if anybody hasn't noticed, it seems to be that LeBron likes to make a spectacle out of any achievement he has. Any. I mean, to me, after I seen that, it kind of turned me a little bit. And not too long after that, after he got to Miami, and then they were playing, Everybody was pulling for them. They were the favorite to win the finals. Mike, do you remember what happened at first finals?
Look.
And it was like he gave up.
All I'm gonna say is LeBron was the fourth. I want to say he was the fourth or the fifth leading scorer in that finals on both teams.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Mike would never. Mike could have shot 30% from the field, and he still would have been gunning. He wouldn't have been the fifth leading scorer in the finals. He might have averaged 30 and shot 30% from the field if he had to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's bewildering and mind blowing, and it's absolutely just boggling of the mind, because I used to sit up here and pull for this man. But after he pulled some of the stunts that he pulled, and especially after that situation with J.R. Smith, where he made the mistake of not going back up with the ball.
And he was going crazy that game, too.
And the bad part is when he sat on that sideline with his team and went and sat on the other end.
Yeah, when he was by himself.
Because he was so pissed off. He was pouting. And I can tell you right then and there, that was the moment I said, I should have fucking seen the writing.
Man, you still had the whole overtime to win the game. And they couldn't stop him.
Dorian said it best last night.
They couldn't stop him. He was going crazy that entire game. I'm like, bro, you still got a chance to win.
But Dorian said it best. He gave up. He gave up on his team.
I remember watching that game. That was crazy.
He gave up on his team. And to me, when it comes down to it, I've watched other guys do some similar shit to that. Mike had a guy on his team that played with him for years. And I watched him while Mike was gone, and they made this big run to go to the fucking, try to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and get a chance to win a championship. And he threw a fucking fit on the sideline, like a straight up, you know what I want to say. I ain't going to say
he wasn't.
Because the play didn't get drawn up for him. And that's the problem I have with a guy who thinks he's bigger than the fucking team.
You know what's crazy? Remember when, I'm trying to remember, I think it was the first three-peat. Remember when John Paxson, they drew up a play from, it wasn't technically for Mike, but they knew Mike was going to garner all the attention.
Exactly.
And then he went up to John Paxson and was like, look, they going to come after me. So when I give you that ball, you're going to be wide open.
Exactly.
Hit the shot, and guess what he did?
He hit the shot.
He didn't care about getting the last shot. He just wanted the best chance to win. That's the thing. Like,
that's the difference between them.
That's the difference. Like, Jordan didn't give a damn. If you would have told Jordan, look, we got to do this, and this, and we'll win the game, regardless if he's involved in the shot or not, he would have been like, all right, if that's what we got to do, we're going to do it.
That's what we got to do. We're going to do it. Simple and I think you said it best when we started looking at all these things that had happened, and you kept telling me over time, you're like, look, I'm telling you. And I even was thinking to myself, this dude, he could be one of the greats. And he is one of the greats. But the problem I have with that is that at what point did he stop thinking about winning championships as the main goal? And now it was about individual accolades. Because to me,
individual accolades don't mean nothing.
To me, I think he got to a point where he understood he probably would never win another championship. That bubble presented him with a chance to win a championship, because think about it.
The bubble.
They didn't have to go into anybody's environment where the fucking crowd
was. It's not the same.
It's not the same. I'm sorry. It's not.
The whole atmosphere of having to deal with fans and, going to another building and all the travel, all this kind of thing.
It's all not ever,
it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's just not. It's like pickup basketball damn near.
And then after the bubble was over, what happened to that team?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. Not even just the team, but what happened to the league. They started bringing in the play-in so they could get in the playoffs easier.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. Like, the Lakers shouldn't even been in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
The Western Conference Finals.
Or the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, they shouldn't even been there last year because there's technically a play-in team. They making all these new rules to make it easier for teams getting the playoffs now and all. Like,
It's irritating because I can tell
Bro, come on, man.
I can tell you right now, to me, the reason why he is doing what he's doing is because he's trying to make it to where, hey, nobody else will ever be able to touch this record if I get to 40-some thousand, 45,000 points. And that's fine. You can always have that as your fallback, you know, to say I was the greatest, right? I was the greatest. I scored all these points. But let's be real. Those points are an accumulative stat. It's not a yearly stat to show what you did for that year. It's an accumulative stat. And to me, an accumulative stat, yeah, it tells a story. It tells a story about what you did for the entire time you were in the league. But let's be real. That does not tell the story of how many championships you won.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The more he keep playing and the more he ain't winning, I mean that could be a backfire on his career too. If you really think about it.
And not only that,
if he ends up playing 23, 24 years and he only wins 4 championships, like,
what's your percentage? Your
like, come on, man.
You know, to me, I think that people have got to start thinking about what it is that they really, really see. LeBron James is a fantastic fucking player. Fantastic. But to me, if I was going to start a team and I wanted a winner, a stone cold winner, I'm not picking him at the very first fucking pick.
Hey, I'll tell you what. It really comes down to this. When Michael had a championship caliber team, he won. Period. That's what this comes down to.
Exactly.
When you looked at his roster and it was a championship caliber team, you looked at it and was like, okay, I can see that team being a contending team for the championship. He never lost.
Never.
So all those years y'all like to bring up about how Mike, you know, he didn't make it to the, you know, the finals, or he got kicked out of the playoffs, and those are not championship caliber teams.
I mean, but
LeBron has lost on championship caliber teams, and that's
been swept
to it,
and been swept in finals.
But here's the thing that gets me, right. So LeBron went to the finals before he went to Miami, right?
Exactly.
And he lost to the Spurs. So he went. That was the first championship, and then he lost in the first championship they went with Miami.
Exactly.
My thing is that how are we going to compare a dude that lost his first 2 finals and played like dog shit in those first 2 finals to a dude in his first 2 finals did the complete opposite and won? And not only did he win, he won his first 2, then ended up winning another one and 3-peated.
Well, you know what's funny?
So how can you come after he lost those first? To be honest with you, after he lost the first one, the conversation was over. To me, that's just me though. And I'll be honest with you, when he lost that second one, that just proved my point. Like, that just proved it. That was it. There was no coming back from what he did in 2011.
And weren't they up in the series against Dallas Mavericks?
They were up 2-1, if I remember right, because I think Dallas came back and won 3 straight.
Yeah, they were up 3. They were up 2-1.
It was 2-1, I remember.
And you know, this is what irritates me when I have, like I said, we got comments. And hey, by the way, I want to tell everybody, we got our first couple trolls.
Hey man,
I appreciate it.
Trolls,
we love a good troll.
We want y'all to
We've
comment.
been waiting for y'all. Where y'all been?
That's what this is what this is all about.
Anyway, we want you guys to like and subscribe if you like what you're hearing too. I mean, we tend to get to going and we forget about these type of things, but please like and subscribe if you see something on here and you're like, you know what, I like to hear more from these guys.
We like to have open discussion.
We do.
We ain't closed-minded.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We want to hear everybody's opinion, you know?
I would like to hear everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, but
you know,
that's why I'm answering the comment that was made on the last video, because you got to think about it. The comment also had this in there because you brought up a good point about who LeBron lost to in those finals, right? And if I'm going to be honest, the question was asked about what great team did Michael play in the finals. Damn. I mean,
I don't know. That's Sonic. Oh man,
it's not just that one though. I mean, we have to be honest with when he played The Lakers, they weren't the greatest team, but they were a very good
They
team
were still
at
a
that
good.
time.
They had just they had won the championship the year before, right?
No, that was the Detroit Pistons.
Was it the year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they had been in the finals.
I know Magic was MVP the year
Yeah.
before.
They had been in the finals, those years before. But the thing is that the Laker team was not the greatest, but it was a good team, right?
Yeah, they were definitely a championship caliber team.
But the teams after that, the Portland Trailblazers, that Portland Trailblazers team was nasty.
I think my favorite one from the first three-peat was that Suns team.
The Suns team was
That Suns team. When y'all
nasty. Sleeping.
go look at that Suns team. The point guard,
Kevin Johnson.
Man, y'all sleep.
Kevin Johnson was one of the most
you.
underrated point guards in the league.
And Charles Barkley, bro, he's like he's Draymond on steroids that can score.
Yeah, and
That's what he is.
And they had shooters: Danny Ainge, Dan Marley. I mean,
that team was nasty.
That team
y'all
was
sleep.
That
Man.
team was good. Matter of fact, Charles Barkley won MVP that year. After that, I mean, that was their first,
that was the
first three. And then if you go into the next time,
Terry Cummings from the Trailblazers was him and Drexler.
Not Terry Cummings.
Yeah, the point guard.
No, not Cummings. Cummings was a power forward that used to play for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Am I tripping?
Yeah, you're. God dang it, what is his name? Terry winds up getting beat by the Orlando Magic.
I want to throw something in there about that 17 games too. Don't get this twisted. The Bulls was trash.
Yeah, I think they had.
They were not a good team.
No.
I know y'all remember when Scotty threw up his shoe with them. I think he had the 10s on.
That was the year.
And he was like, "Come back."
But nobody realizes that was the season after Scotty sat his ass on the bench.
That wasn't that. Yeah, they were
and fucking being a baby.
Nobody ever brings up that second season either. They only bring up the one where where they went to
because
the playoffs.
That
or whatever.
fits the narrative.
Yeah, y'all never want to bring that up. When Jordan came back, they went on a 14-3 run record the rest of the season.
Yeah, for 17 games.
17 games.
And they went to the playoffs.
They were a borderline not gonna make the playoffs that year.
Yep. So he comes back. He gets beat in the playoffs by the Orlando Magic. Nick Anderson had some slick stuff to say after they lost and they beat them, and he was like, "Yeah, 45-23." Michael Jordan took that shit personal. We all know he does, and he came back the very next year and went on a tear. Swept them. Told Nick, "Yeah, you're right. 45-23." Yeah. They went on to win that year. Now, that year that he came back, nobody talks about it. But the team that came out of the West, when we're talking about good teams, this was a young, hungry team and still had some veterans on that team. You had Gary Payton for the Sonics, Sean Kemp, Nate McMillan, Hersey Hawkins.
You had Deadlift, too.
Deadlift Shrimp. Irvin Johnson.
That team was loaded.
That team was loaded from top to bottom. They had a great bench, and they were hungry.
Athletic as hell.
And Mike and them gave in the business. That was one of the most athletic teams that they played. Then they went on to wind up playing Utah for the next two finals. And during those next two finals, we sleeping on Utah because Utah was 66-14, if I remember right.
They won over
that
64
first
games
year
both those years.
Yeah, they were 66-14 the first year that they played them in the finals, and the next year they went 62-20.
They was whooping on
so
everybody.
They went to all those finals and played teams that had great fucking records. None of those teams were bad. Not a one. They were great teams. And if you want to be honest about it, off of every team they played, Magic Johnson, Hall of Famer. James Worthy, Hall of Famer, right? I want to say, what's his name? Mike won those championships. When he won those championships, there was two times that he beat the MVP of the league in those finals. Charles Barkley
Karl Malone.
and Karl Malone. Karl Malone is one of the top NBA scorers of all time.
And y'all don't never talk about
And you
him.
never talk about him. Now, I'm not saying Karl Malone's one of the, the GOATs. That's not it. But what I am saying is we don't give enough credit to the guys that Michael did play. And that's the problem.
Well, the reason why is because they never won.
Well, they didn't win because of what?
But that's the point.
They didn't win because of Mike.
The reason why you can give the dudes that LeBron played a little bit more credit
is because they've won.
It's because they won.
And they beat him.
Exactly. Like you want to talk about like KD, Steph and all. You wouldn't say none of them names if they didn't win. Regardless of how great they are individually. You wouldn't bring them up if they didn't win anything.
The problem is the slander. The slander that I hear constantly about what the teams from the past did, and everybody wants to tell you about, it's just like when I heard about how the greatest team ever in the NBA was the team that went 73-9, and it was the Golden State Warriors. And I said to myself, okay, but that don't mean shit if they don't win a ring.
Yeah, they didn't win shit.
And yet, they didn't win a ring. So when it came down to it, were they the greatest team ever?
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think the Warriors were they had a great run, right?
They did.
Here's the thing, though. They still didn't three-peat. They still did not three-peat.
I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me about how great the teams are right now, how much better they are than the teams that played back in the late 80s and the mid 90s, even the late 90s. Because to me, when I watch today's game, I see the same thing over and over again from everybody that's in the league. And this includes good players. They tend to not put forth the same effort every night. And when we get down to it,
especially on defense,
we are not the same. My era, we played defense. Even if we had to knock a motherfucker's head off.
I would even say the era that I grew up watching, like in that early mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I would even say there were some rough battles getting played.
It was. It was.
It definitely was.
But that's what I'm saying. There is a difference now and a disconnect from what the league used to be to what it is now.
You don't even have real defensive. Like when we talk about those eras, right? You had dudes that were known for playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that anymore in terms of like, okay, I'll give you an example, right? So when I was growing up, like with Kobe and all them, when you talk about defenders, you had Tony Allen.
Oh yeah.
You had Shane Battier.
Yeah.
You had Ron Artest.
Yep.
You know.
And Ron Artest will tell you when at age 40, he was playing Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan gave him 48,
and he broke his ribs because of it.
Yeah.
That's how upset he was.
Michael gave him.
Mike was giving him the business.
And Artest was the two-time defending defensive player of the year.
Yeah, like
at that time.
You don't have those kind of players no more, to where they can just come in and because Tony gave Kobe fits, man.
Of course.
Bruce Allen.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys people don't forgot about, but that type of player, you don't see that in the NBA no more.
You don't. And
a dude that is just relentless on defense.
Bruce Bowen.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Bruce Bowen.
Yeah, Bruce Bowen.
You know, and here's the thing I'll tell people when I look at these, these players now, and I say, okay, look, there are some good players. There's some very good players.
They're very talented for sure.
But let's be real. There ain't no defensive goons out there no more.
Nope.
The only one you had was Draymond. He was a throwback, and even at that point, the league doesn't tolerate none of that shit no more. Right? Mm-mm. So back in our day, when I was watching, every team had at least two of those guys on the team. The Detroit Pistons had Bill Laimbeer and Mahorn. Yeah. So
Ben Wallace is another one.
They had those guys. Every team usually had one or two for sure. You know, one for sure, two maybe. But they all had them. Nowadays, you don't have that.
Ben Wallace was one of the few dudes that could actually handle Shaq.
Yeah.
And he was only 6'9".
But that's because he knew how to play Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was giving Shaq problems. When y'all better do y'all research. Man.
When I look at all the stuff that's said, and then like I said, we go by the comments. I look at the comments, and people, you know, they get mad or I get it. You're defending the player that you believe in. But I don't think there's anything that you should defend. You should actually, if you really think that way about your player, you should actually just appreciate what he's done. I appreciate what he's done. I think it's fantastic. He's got the scoring title. But I also think that's not what makes you the GOAT. That's not.
And neither
because if it was, we would have gave that whole title to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar years ago.
And neither the 6 L's in the finals.
So
let me stop.
But it's true. I mean, it's true, especially.
Just saying, man. Damn, 6. You done lost more than Mike. Lost the same as Mike won. What sense does that make? Like, it makes no sense, bro. And then you play. This is what I always say, because I was talking about those first 2 finals.
Yeah.
There's a difference between going to the finals and losing, and you play lights out.
Yeah.
Versus going to the finals and you playing like dog shit and losing. There's a difference. The first 2 finals LeBron played in, he played like dog shit.
He did.
Complete dog shit. And
he did. He played
shit. Terrible. And I don't give a damn about what team he played. None of that. Because we've seen Mike play Hall of Fame teams and lose and average 45. And 45.
I mean, you know what?
So I don't want to hear that.
You know what's weird about all of that, though, is that people will bring up, well, Michael never beat Detroit in their heyday.
That's
lie.
That's
not true.
That's a lie.
That is not true, because let's be real. They say he didn't beat Detroit and he didn't beat Boston. Okay.
He didn't beat Boston.
Well, no, let's put it in context. Mike came back to play in the playoffs. Okay? That team in the 85...
He was injured the second year. Yeah,
okay,
right.
so when he came back in 85-86 to play in the playoffs, he had just come back from an injury. This man came out there and they wanted to tank the rest of the season.
Yeah,
they wanted to
Mike
sit
was mad. Yeah, he was mad.
And Mike said,
no.
hell no, that's a loser's mentality. I'm not tanking the rest of the season just so we can get a draft pick. Right? So he said, hell no, I'm going out here, I'm going to play. They let him play. Now, the team he wound up playing when they talk about Boston. And Boston, they were 40-1 at home. That team was one of the best teams to ever play. They have the best home record to this day of any team, and it has not been broken. 40-1. Now, that's at home. Now, when you say those things and you tell me about what Mike didn't do, let's be real. Mike's team was not that very good. They were not very good at all.
Oh, Orlando. People be bringing up Orlando Warriors like he was just but he was a cokehead. We don't want to hear that. We don't care about that.
Hey, Mike.
Right. You know, he was a nice little highlight.
Yeah.
You know, he could dunk, get you some, you know. He could get you 18, 20 here and there.
Every now and then.
Yeah, like, come on.
But let's be real about this. Mike goes in there, drops 63. It's the highest point total.
Still ain't been broken.
Still ain't been broken. And he did it at the Garden. Not the new Garden, the old Garden, where it used to get sweltering hot.
Man.
And sucked. It sucked in there. Now, the thing about it is he dropped 63 on their ass. And right after that game is over, what does fucking Larry Legend say? He says, I just witnessed Jesus in sneakers.
Hey, call him Black Jesus, man. Come on, man.
You got to tell me something that, look, Larry Bird didn't give out compliments.
So did.
Never really. He was one of the most competitive motherfuckers you would ever meet. He was a killer too. But the thing was, they had 5 Hall of Famers on that team.
That team was loaded.
5.
Loaded.
When you talk about the Detroit Pistons and how they couldn't beat them, right? Let's be real. Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer,
Dennis Rodman.
I
think
Mark Aguirre.
Hold on, I think what's that dude? He was a guard. He was a one of the
Vinny the fucking Microwave Johnson.
Man, what is his name?
That's another one.
On
what team?
He was on Detroit, but he was only there for like 2 years. He was a big time scorer.
Oh,
you know him,
Adrian Dantley.
Yep, there he is.
So when
y'all sleep,
when
y'all don't even know who that is.
Here, let me make sure. Dennis Rodman. You also had Mark Aguirre, Vinny the Microwave Johnson,
John Sally.
John Sally, you know,
he wasn't named. He wasn't crazy.
He was still. He was
low key a household name.
He was
low key.
They called him the Spider.
Yeah.
So, but they had a really, really good team, and on that team, I mean, hell, Bill Laimbeer is nominated right now to go into the Hall of Fame this year. So
there was a solid unit.
I mean, think about that. Rodman will probably. I don't know if Rodman will ever get into the Hall of Fame. It's not because of what he did.
Should.
It's not because of what he hasn't done on the court.
Well, he's the greatest rebounder in NBA.
But it's because of what he's done outside of basketball. So they won't ever. I don't know if they'll ever give him. I can just say when it comes down to it, we have to look at what. It has to be credible, right? When you worry about what these teams are and how, you want to say that LeBron played better teams. Okay, I get what you're trying to say, but are you really going back and watching the teams that these other guys played?
Wait, I got a comment about that, though. Okay, so look, because when they say that, they're obviously talking about the Warriors, right?
That's the only one that they can.
Here's my
besides
thing.
The Spurs.
I don't even think them Spurs teams was all that like they were good, but I don't think they were like all time good. Like.
Well, I can just say this: Tim Duncan has 5 championships.
He should have 6. He really should.
Well,
Ray Allen, you ruined it. You fucked it up. Just saying. I thought they was gonna win. I remember watching that game. That was crazy. But no, when y'all be bringing up about, Mike didn't play a team like Golden State Warriors. Here's my thing. That's because Mike and the Bulls were the Golden State Warriors.
That's kind of true.
They didn't need to worry about playing another team like that because they were that team.
It's
like what, bro? It's like this dude that I seen in a video say. It's like. What's better, being the monster that is slaying everybody year after year after year, or beating the monster one time?
Yeah.
Out of the 3 or the 4 times you went up against them,
we the best. We best. We beat them.
What proves that you were more dominant when you are the monster and you just taking control of the entire, not a conference. We ain't talking about a conference.
Yeah. Mike
controlled and dominated the entire league for a whole era. The 90s was Michael Jordan. Period.
You know what's funny about that? There was a story I remember listening to. It was some time ago, where Ronnie Cycli, for y'all that don't know, Ronnie Cycli is a Syracuse Orangeman legend. He one of the great players ever come out of Syracuse, right? And Ronnie Cycli got drafted and wound up going to the Miami Heat. And they were an expansion team at that time. They were still, in their infancy, probably about 3 or 4 years old, whatever. Anyway, the thing about it is he went down there and they were playing, and they got to play the Bulls one year. And if I remember right, Ronnie Cycli said that it was like playing. It was like a rock band was on tour. It was like the Beatles had come into town. That's how famous the Bulls were. And he said that when they got, it's pandemonium. The thing about it is like when they were playing, they said during the first quarter, Mike didn't have any points. And Steve Smith and Glenn Rice, who was playing for the Heat at that time,
I remember that story.
They had made some little, comments, and they had looked at Mike and, gave these looks. Now, Ronnie Cycli said they shouldn't have done that because it pissed Mike off. And Mike, he took everything personal. And they said that The next 3 quarters, Mike fucking put up 56 points on their ass and beat the shit out of them. This is the difference I'm talking about when you have a guy who he's a bucket getter.
Oh, hold on.
A bucket getter.
Hey, hold on. Let's talk about how LeBron let KD 2 years in a row in the finals. Let KD walk up to the top of the key and pull that thing in front of him twice in the same spot. In the same spot.
Was it 2 times that he?
It was 2 times because remember he did it in the first finals.
Well, the first time he played him.
Yeah, the first time he played him with the Warriors, and then the next year when they went back to back, he did it again. Bro, LeBron wasn't, and that's the thing about LeBron. Bro, he's never. When you look at his contemporaries, as far as like, especially at his position.
Yeah.
So players like KD, Kawhi, stuff like that, right? Or any top big time player that's about his size, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen him actually lock anyone down. And it's not to say that you can, because I don't think anybody could just lock down KD.
No.
I think it has to be a team effort, kind of like what Boston did with him that year.
Yeah.
It has to be. You got to get a little bit more physical with him.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the league now doesn't really allow that for the most part.
Pretty much.
That was an anomaly there. I ain't never seen them let them play defense like that.
Yeah.
So, but I've never seen LeBron take initiative defensively when it comes to guarding somebody at his. Bro, he never did it with Kobe. He never did it with KD. And it's the finals, bro. Why is KD cooking you like that?
Because my feet hurt, coach.
Like, bro, and that's the thing. People, and look, y'all can talk all that shit y'all want about KD, but them 2 finals, KD was coming for him.
Yeah.
Straight up. And then we ain't talking about, look, y'all can say what y'all want about the teams and the matchup, but when it was time to, like, get buckets.
He's a bucket getter.
KD was coming for him.
Yeah, he's
straight
a bucket
up.
getter.
And he wanted LeBron. He was like,
yeah.
LeBron, I want you.
Yeah, it's...
You know what I'm saying?
It's a difference. Like I said, he's a bucket getter, and that's the thing I was referring to with Mike. Mike's a bucket getter. Most of the guys that are killers in the league, they're bucket getters. Larry Bird, bucket getter. Steph Curry, bucket getter. He can get you big time shots at any time in a game. Kobe Bryant, bucket getter. I mean, even Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was a bucket getter. Allen Iverson, bucket getter. I mean, but there's a difference between those guys and Mike. And the Mike was the ultimate bucket getter.
I think that what Mike did in terms of, like, I think what separates him was that he was the first one that was a volume scorer.
Yeah.
But was efficient.
That
was the difference. Mike was a volume scorer, but was shooting 52%, 54% from the field.
Yeah.
As a shooter.
Shooting guard.
Like, I'm just saying, like, as jump shots.
Yeah, jump shots.
You know what I'm saying? Because later on, like, midway through his career, he started going, shooting more jumpers and more working out of the post more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, Mike was just different, man. Nobody is a better finisher at the basket than Mike.
So
the creativity at the rim with the big men there.
Okay.
Nobody could finish like Mike, bro.
So
reverse layup God. I want y'all to remember that.
He is. So here's a question for you, because we said this the other night. Dorian, he argued me about this a little bit. He said that, I told him, I said LeBron would never have won the dunk competition if he'd have done it his first year. Okay? Got to remember, let's say within his first 2 years. And the reason I say that is
because Josh Smith was there.
Josh Smith's
a better dunker.
Exactly. And he was telling me, no, I think he would have won it. This is now. I said, no, I don't think he would have. Because the simple fact that Josh Smith was more creative in the air.
Yeah, I agree.
So
LeBron is a more straightforward dunker. He's not a...
Yeah.
You know, he's got the athleticism, he's got the up,
but he don't have the creative.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mindset.
He's more of just a straightforward.
Yeah,
tomahawk.
He's an in-game dunker.
Yeah.
So
you know,
and that's why I was saying I didn't think that would happen, but you know, I wanted to see what you thought about that because I didn't. I think Josh Smith would have.
I think Josh Smith would have won.
Okay.
I even think during that time, like you had Jason Richardson that was in some.
Fred Jones. Fred Jones won it in 2005.
Like I don't think LeBron would have won it. Okay, I will say this. He might have won one just based off his name.
That's what I said too. That's what I was thinking.
I do think like the whole, especially like if he went if he didn't go the first time and then decided to go the next year, then they'd be like, oh, you know, LeBron's finally getting in the dunk contest, you know, something like that. So he definitely could have. Off of that, he probably could have.
I know we kind of rambled a little bit, but basically what I want people to understand is this. LeBron has accomplished something that no other player has done. Okay?
And kudos to him.
And kudos to him for that because that is a great accomplishment. It's a great accomplishment. There's nothing wrong with me saying, you know, that's a great accomplishment. I am not going to gloss over that. That is a great accomplishment. It has never been done before. That is fantastic. But I will say is this. Let's put it in perspective. The problem is that sometimes perspectives get skewed because we want our player or the person we look up to as the player that we like the most. You know, that player has flaws. Hell, Mike had flaws. I mean, nobody wants to talk about that all the time, but I'll be the first one to tell you.
Man, he ain't have very many.
No, he didn't, but he had some.
No, I will say, no, he definitely has some.
He had flaws.
But I will say this, though. Man, Mike, I don't think Mike had a weakness.
He didn't have a weakness, but he had a flaw. He definitely
had flaws. But that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing about when you compare him and LeBron. You had Mike didn't have a weakness that you could go after.
Exactly.
He didn't have a part of his game that you could limit or try to take away, and it would affect him overall.
But you know what his flaw?
Where if his shooting wasn't known, okay, cool. He gonna get on defense. He gonna drive to the basket. He gonna get to the free throw line. He gonna do these kind of things. LeBron, on the other hand, if you take that basket away from him, and you get physical with him.
He's gonna struggle out.
He's gonna struggle. He's gonna start trying to force jump shots. And this is the thing: LeBron's not a good shooter.
No.
And for people that be like, well, you know, LeBron, he can hit. I'm not saying he can't hit jumpers, but he's not a consistent enough jump shooter, efficiency wise, to where he can be a consistent threat at all times from that area.
Yeah.
Mike wasn't the greatest 3-point shooter, but he didn't need to be. That little mid, and this is another thing. The mid range is a lost art that players just don't utilize today. Not very many of them.
I will say this: the flaws. That's a whole different other story. But I think one of the flaws that Mike had was I don't think that his teammates necessarily liked him very much.
Yeah, because I think it was more of a after the fact thing that they did like him in terms of like. I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah, but at the time,
exactly.
I don't think that his teammates really much liked him because he was a hard guy. He was hard on them. He
was an asshole. Everybody knows Mike's an asshole.
Okay.
I'm an asshole because my name is Mike too.
But I think that that's one of the major flaws that he had, and that's why you see so many of the guys who he played with. A lot of them, he's not. You never hear about his relationships with any of these guys.
Yeah, I don't think Mike he was never a likable dude, like in terms of like,
but
being friends and all this kind of stuff.
But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean he was perfect. Like I said, Mike, I think he was fantastic as a player, probably the best player I've ever seen in my life for sure. And that doesn't mean there's not another guy out there that will come along that can't be like Mike or even better, because that's to be seen. Right? But the thing is up to this point, Mike is the greatest player I've ever seen lace him up on a basketball court. And Kobe Bryant might be the second greatest player I've ever seen lace him up on a basketball court. I can tell you there's no reason why you, as a fan of your player, can't appreciate what that player has done. But that doesn't mean you have to be delusional about the facts. The facts are Michael and LeBron. You can't put him next to that in that situation when arguably the greatest player behind Michael is Kobe Bean Bryant.
Y'all be disrespectful.
And Kobe gets no respect, and Michael is getting shitted on by all these younger fans now who believe that LeBron is the greatest player ever, but has not put up the wins as far as when it counts to match Michael. You know, would have been different if he would have went to 12 finals and won 6.
Then we'd have an argument.
Then you might have the argument
regardless if he went to 12.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
You know, because that's what he would need now. He would need to be able to go to 2 more and win those next 2 to have the argument. Plus scoring title, as far as you know what I'm saying. That would make me say, okay, look, that there is an argument to be had. But when it counted, and
I don't even think there's still arguments.
I mean, it could be.
I get what you're saying, but then even then, it took him 12 times to get where he got in 6 strides.
But even at that, the accomplishment to get to 12 finals and win half of them is still a pretty damn good argument to say.
But it ain't undefeated.
It's not. It's not.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all, people keep glossing. Look, that would be great and all.
Yeah.
But people making it seem like, you know, being undefeated ain't something in its own right.
No. I'm saying it could be. You could give me the argument then.
That ain't no argument.
But I'm just saying, at this point in time, that is not an argument.
It took you 20 years to do that. And I'm be honest, Mike did this. Hey, real talk, Mike did this in 11 years.
Yeah.
People don't want to talk about that. Technically, it was 13.
13.
Well, they say it's 13, but technically it's not because you got to remember, he was injured the second year.
True.
That year, it's not a full basketball season. He played the 17 games. That was, you know, whatever. And then the retirement years, obviously you don't count those.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. That second year and then the year he came back.
Yeah.
Those are 2 years that are included in that 13 years.
Yeah.
So technically, it's 11 years. In 11 years, Mike did what he did. He in 11 seasons, he had 6 championships, 5 MVPs, 5 Finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles. 10 scoring titles in 11 seasons.
That's crazy.
10 in 11 seasons.
That's crazy. It's I guarantee.
See, y'all don't be.
I guarantee you won't see that.
Yeah, you ain't seeing that. There's not a consistent enough
points per game score.
Yeah, they're not consistent enough. There's always gonna be somebody different every year, damn near.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So, to me, like I said, it could have been the argument. That argument would have been better if he had done that.
I don't agree. I don't think so.
I wouldn't have gave it to him, but it would have still been a better argument, right?
Trash.
So, to me, I think that we have to stop. We have to stop doing the things that we're doing when it comes to our fan. Look, you can still be a fan of the Knicks. God dang, you can still be his fan.
Oh, hold on. I want to make this. I want to say this too. Well, you LeBron fans, y'all. Okay, how do I want to say this? The way y'all talk about Scottie Pippen.
Oh God.
I have to get this off my chest. Kobe. Okay, I'm gonna put it this way. Kobe Bryant is what LeBron fans think Scottie Pippen was to Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. That is facts. Y'all swear up and down that Scottie Pippen was this goddamn... And look, Scottie was great for what he was, which was a guy that could guard pretty much all 5 positions. That was 1A or 1B. Sometimes he was 1A.
I don't know that first title.
Okay, here's the thing with the first title, right? Because people bring that up,
Yeah,
right?
that first title.
Now, Shaq was completely ridiculous
He was.
that finals game. Or the whole playoffs,
The
right?
whole playoffs.
But here's the thing. In the finals, the only reason why Kobe's numbers don't look as great is because first he got injured.
True.
Because he got injured.
Yeah.
And then the next game, I think he got injured. He was still injured, and then he left the rest of the game. So that kind of jacked up his numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think he got in foul trouble in one of them, too. And then he didn't play or something like that. That's the only reason why. Now, the next two finals.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the first final, yeah. Shaq,
y'all swear that Pippen was out here just putting... No. And the funny thing is, these same LeBron fans that do that with Pippen will try to discredit Kobe for playing with Shaq, even though he had much to do with them championships that Shaq did in terms of numbers wise.
He did, and that's what I said.
But then they'll give Pippen all the goddamn credit, or most of the credit for when Jordan. He was playing with Jordan. But exactly, it doesn't make any sense to me.
How do you give somebody the credit for those finals wins when he did not average what Michael averaged?
Not even close. As a matter of fact, Pippen was terrible in the finals.
He
was not good in the finals.
And that I can tell you right now, and that Utah series where he hurt his back,
and the last one where he had back problems,
yeah,
he was not good.
Messed up, but he was not good.
Yeah, he was not good. Yeah, y'all promised that he was Kobe Bryant in the finals, but he wasn't. Y'all need to start giving my boy Bryant his due, man. Bro, he never averaged more than 20 points a game. And the only time he did is when Mike retired. Which was 22.
It was 22.
Yeah. He was never no scorer or nothing like that. He could go get some, points here and there. But he wasn't.
And even then, he showed his ass when he drew up to play for Kukoc. But what they don't tell you is that Kukoc had been hitting buzzer beaters all season. And that's why he drew it up.
And Kukoc was just naturally the better shooter.
Yeah.
He was just he was a better scorer.
And he fucking hit the motherfucking shot.
Exactly. Bro, y'all gonna, like I said, y'all gonna stop disrespecting Kobe. How y'all disrespect Kobe for what he did with Shaq, but then give all this credit to Pippen? He did less than what Michael than what Kobe did with Shaq. It makes no sense. Like, come on, bro. Mike was...
It's funny though because
it's ridiculous, bro. Like, y'all are weird, man.
It's funny though because I look at it the same way you do, but then what I tell myself is, okay, look, let's kind of come back, let's breathe a little bit, and then I think to myself, to take credit from Michael for what he was able to accomplish, because you want to make sure your guy looks better than him. That is the most ridiculous thing you can do. And then what hurts the most about that when I start thinking about people is that they can look dead at the numbers of what that man did during that season. I ain't talking about accumulative stats for a career. I'm talking about for that season. And they would say, well, he didn't play nobody. But yet everybody he beat in the NBA Finals was a Hall of Famer.
He didn't play J.J. Barea and Jason Terry either. He didn't lose.
You had to bring that.
I'm just saying, when they say stuff like that, it's just stupid, bro. Like, we ain't seen LeBron go up against the...
You would bring that.
I'm just saying, it's just weird, bro.
Because, look.
Quit doing that. Bro, he got locked, bro. Jason Terry and J.J. Barea was giving LeBron buckets, bro. He was giving him buckets.
I'm going to do like you did. J.J. Barea.
Like, come on.
Really, man?
And then they want to talk about Jordan.
Not even Sean Marion?
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. Deshaun, bro, you know what's crazy? Because they beat the Lakers before that series, right? They smacked the Lakers.
Smacked the Lakers.
Smacked them, right? Bro, Deshaun, what was that dude's name? Deshaun Stevenson?
Stevenson.
Bruh. I don't know what that man was on that entire playoffs, but him and Jason Terry was cooking.
Yeah, they were.
They was not missing.
And if I remember right, Adrian Griffin was on.
Well, JaVale was going. He was on them teams too.
Was he?
Oh no, not JaVale.
No.
Chandler.
Chandler.
Yeah,
Tyson Chandler.
Chandler was going crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But bruh, how you let Jason Terry outscore you?
You know what they'll say.
Man, I'm telling you. And JJ Barea was.
They have problems with them, but you have to realize that. To me, I look at these things and I see flaws that, as far as what people want to remember, right?
Yeah, they don't want to remember certain stuff.
They don't want to remember the things that make up a part of your cumulative lifetime stats. You can have the fucking 40,000 points, but let's be real. During that time that you accumulated those 40,000 points, which is a great accolade.
I got some.
But at the same time, along the line, when you were doing this, you were going to championships, and you did not win, especially the ones you should have won when you were the favored, right?
That Dallas one he should have won.
That Dallas one you definitely should have won.
I kind of get the Spurs one.
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
But here's my problem though. If he would have played a little bit better, I feel like they could have still had a shot, because those games were still close games.
They were.
They were like 2-3 point losses or something like that. It wasn't like he was getting blown out.
I can say this, that with LeBron, the thing that irks me the most is that the way that he wanted these teams assembled and put together.
You don't see Curry doing that shit.
You know, and he got what he wanted, and then it still wasn't good enough. And to me, look, Michael didn't really assemble his first three-peat teams, right? He didn't ask.
Most of those dudes was drafted, if I'm not mistaken.
They were, you know, they didn't ask Reinsdorf. Nobody knew Jerry Reinsdorf when them were going to fucking pull this trigger on picking a kid out of Central Arkansas for Olden Polynice.
And a lot of those...
And he wasn't supposed to go in the first round.
Yeah, a lot of those players from the second three-peat, they were there before Jordan got back.
Exactly.
So
y'all
didn't hear
that. It's weird, and I can understand it. You know, people, like I said, they want to hold on to these things that they think really happened, trying to be on that side of history and say, yes, well, LeBron James should be considered as a GOAT. No, it's not, because I don't believe in it. So I'm not going to ever say that.
And it don't make us haters either.
No.
I need to cut that out.
So with that being said, you know, I had a question I was going to ask you, because I asked Dorian it the other night. So there's all this speculation out there that LeBron is on this Balco juice.
Oh, about what KG was saying.
Okay, and he's not the only person. And
I've seen other people bring it up.
What's funny about this is that Mace even brought it up on his show about how this is not getting talked about. It's been brought out. It's kind of getting swept under the rug. And so here's my question to you. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. What I'm saying is this. With all that being said, if it ever comes out that he actually is doing something like that, does it tarnish his...
it's curtains. Bro, could you imagine... Bro, I'm going to just... Look, let's just...
I can see all the LeBronites.
Listen. Could you imagine what Jordan heads would do if this came out and it was true?
I don't want to laugh.
LeBron might... Hey, listen. Oh, my... And I'm going to be honest with you. Look... I'm not a fan of LeBron in terms of, like, basketball goes and stuff like that. I would not want that to happen. I want to make that clear, because that would be terrible. Not only for the NBA, it's just a bad look.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look overall. It ain't even got nothing to do with the Jordan and LeBron debate, the GOAT debate. It's just not a good look.
It would be bad for the league, period.
It would be, it would be bad. I do not, please, LeBron, do not let this be true. Please don't.
Yeah, it would definitely be bad for the league.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
It would definitely be bad for the league. I just wanted to see what you said because Dorian said the same thing. He thought it would be a bad look.
Definitely a bad look.
It would definitely.
But man, it would be bad and funny at the same time. Because Twitter would be, oh my man, listen. Can it be like? No, I ain't gonna say that.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Don't say that shit.
No, I'm just saying, like, man, LeBron fans wouldn't.
I could literally.
Bro, LeBron fans would be crying. They would really be having that LeBron cry face.
If that was to happen, hypothetically speaking, I would be able to literally hear this big. You know what that is? That's all the air coming out of all the LeBron fans at the same time. It's fucking crazy.
That would be tough.
To be honest with you, I don't want that to be a real thing.
Yeah, please no.
Because it would taint the league tremendously.
And I don't think LeBron. Listen, like I said, we talking basketball. It ain't got nothing to do with LeBron as a man or outside off the court. None of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what he does outside the court because to me that has no bearing on basketball or what he does.
Yeah, we talking strictly basketball, man.
Wins and losses. That has nothing to do.
I hate when people do that. They bring up like how LeBron is this family man and, you know, wife, and then they'll be like, well, Jordan was a drinker, a gambler. Like, I'm like, what they got to do with the court? You know, like, we talking about basketball. We ain't talking about these dudes personally. Like, come on,
yeah, because you ain't meeting them.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't hanging out with him on the barbecue on Sunday.
Bro, they be like, man, LeBron didn't like, or they be like, Mike didn't like his teammates. He punched. Nigga, what that got to do with me? Yeah, I could care less. I'm talking about what he did on that court. I tell you what, that punch led to championship. Shit. Hey, it worked somehow. That's all I'm gonna say.
I can see it. I'm picturing it in my head. Steve Kerr comes around the corner. Mike's walking on the highway. Kerr's got an ice pack up to his eye. Mike's looking at him. Kerr's looking at him. It's fucked up, Mike.
But we gonna win these rings. Though.
I understand what you said, but it's fucked up. You had to hit me. And Mike's looking at him, going, "I bet you'll make that motherfucker now."
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. We don't care about none of that. We just want the end result. We just care about the end result.
Was that wrong of me?
Nah, because Kobe was the same way. Now I don't know if Kobe hit anybody.
No, but we know Mike did. But we know Mike did because Kerr came out and said he punched me.
Oh yeah. and Kobe and Shaq used to get into it all the time. We know. But that's the thing though. And that's the thing. It's like Tom Brady. We can't stand Tom Brady. But Tom Brady was an asshole too.
But Tom Brady said, "I didn't have no friends in the league."
Yeah, exactly. You know, it is what it is, man.
With that being said, we are going to end this tonight. Like I said, it's 2 nights, 2 episodes anyway of basketball talk. We want everybody to like and subscribe if you like what you've seen. We're still trying to figure this algorithm out. We're still trying to figure out the whole thing about, trying to get our content out there. And to me, when you guys like and subscribe, I don't care if you're a fan of the show. I don't care if you're a person that didn't necessarily like the show. Hell, leave us a comment. Tell us, hey, look, I don't agree with you. I thought this was, not very good. Or I thought you guys could have done a better job. Or if you did like it,
we'll take it all.
We'll take it all. We just want to get better to give better content. So if you guys can like and subscribe, tell us what you like, leave a comment, whatever it is. We'll try to answer to every one of them. Do we get to all of them? No. If you have a question, something you want to hear our opinion about, or you like to hear somebody else's opinion, just different than your own, leave it in the comments. We have no problem with that. We'll answer whatever we can. To all those that have subscribed, we don't have many, but hell, we love every one of y'all for subscribing.
Man,
simple as that.
Man.
Because what that does is it keeps us moving. Just getting better in general. Better lighting, better camera, better audio, whatever it is. So With that being said, like I said, this is the end of the show. We'd like to thank everybody that came on here and watched our video. And, like I said, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Appreciate it, man.